Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another show of Unscripted. You know what? I brought David back on because I wanted to ask him about something is making traction. And I need to find out the information behind this because it is going kind of, shall we say, viral.
Mm-hmm.
The Seeds of Harmony, David.
Ah,
David, tell us about this because I have not listened to it yet. So this is kind of, I'm not sure what the content is, so you'll be able to tell us all about it. Is it bullshit? Is it true? What is going on?
okay. So here's what is happening. I think I need to clarify a few things. The first thing I need to clarify is that we had a situation. Let's do this again, Amy. It's sticking. You see it sticking?
No.
Okay, give me a second. Let me pause. Pause recording.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Unscripted. Okay. So I had to bring David Ellis back on because something has been happening and I need to find out what it is. Something has been making traction. Shall we say viral? Something's going viral, David.
Mm-hmm.
And that is The Seeds of Harmony. Now, I have not read it, just so you know, just to be clear, I have not read it or listened to it.
Mm-hmm.
So I know nothing about it. So I need to find out from you, the creator, is it bullshit? Is it true? What's going on here?
Okay, so I need to talk about the Seeds of Harmony and where the idea came from and how this book came into creation. First of all, I want to make a disclaimer here. Andrew Botsis has nothing to do with the book. Okay, it was not reviewed by the Galactic Historian team or anything like that. All right, I need to make sure that everybody knows this because Andrew messaged me and says, David, I'm getting a lot of hate because of this book. And I'm like, why? And I'm like, why would a book create people into give them this feeling that they need to be sending comments and stuff like that? And then I thought to myself, I know why, because a lot of people are fanatics. That's why.
Oh, yeah.
And so let me explain to you the process of creating the Seeds of Harmony book, and probably you guys will understand how this came into being. The first thing I need to tell you is that my background is in technology, so I do a lot of AI stuff. The second thing I need to tell you is that with regard to galactic history, the origins of the universe, the origins of Earth, and so on, there are so many different narratives on the subject. And for myself, I wanted to just figure out, like, I don't want to be reading 1,000 different accounts of UFO encounters and so on. I don't want to be reading through like a million different people. And then it dawned on me, David, you have a master's in technology. Why don't you just create a tool, because you have access to the most powerful systems on Earth right now, whether it be OpenAI, Gemini, all those LLMs. I even have access to DeepSeek, for those of you who know what DeepSeek is.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought to myself, why don't I just simply create a tool that reads everybody's work and then forms a narrative? And then
Whoa.
and I'm like, interesting. You see, in this kind of spectrum, and I'm going to do it for a number of things because there's a number of narratives on the pandemic. But the beauty of AI is that it can absorb large amounts of information very quickly. So I took all the psychics that were saying anything about alien encounters and galactic history. I took all the UFOologists and I took all their works and so on, and I put it into a file structure. I put it into a file structure. Now, the truth of the matter is, like, you ever played Chinese Whispers when you were a kid?
Chinese whispers. I don't know. What is it? Maybe it's something different here.
So, like, you have a bunch of people, let's say, in a classroom, and the teacher says something to one student, and it goes like, the boy played with the ball.
Yeah.
The students now has to whisper it to the other one, and whisper to the other one. At the end of the line of students, the narrative always comes out completely distorted from what it was before. It's called Chinese Whispers. Okay.
It was whisper down the lane for us. Well, for me.
Yes, whisper down the lane. Correct.
Yep.
So this is basically what Chinese Whispers are. And I thought, how can you reverse engineer Chinese whispers to get to the original message and stuff like that? So that's the first thing I did. Okay. Because
wait, hold on. That was your concept?
Yeah, my concept was Chinese whispers. Because everybody's going to have a piece of the truth, some intonation of the truth, right?
Oh my God.
So what I did was the following. I took everybody who was saying anything about UFO encounters and stuff like that. It didn't matter who it was. And if you're wondering how could you compile that list of people, well, it's not that difficult. I could actually share my screen and show you the process that I took. You interested in that?
Yeah, why not? Let's do it.
Okay. So this is the process of creating the Seeds of Harmony ebook. The first thing you need to do is understand that there are different narratives. Even the Bible has sightings of UFOs. The Quran has sightings of UFO. They hint to it. The Rosicrucians. This is all mystery schools. The guys from what do you call this crazy? Well, I shouldn't say crazy on this podcast. The guys from Scientology, they have an idea of how UFOs are working in this world, and there are a number of people who are dealing with either the after effects of what we call alien encounters or not. So do you discount their accounts or not? So the first thing I needed to do was get an idea of what they all agree on. So what my tool does is takes everybody's accounts, break it down into what everybody agrees on first of all, and then takes the fringe elements of the narrative and see what is most likely. Okay, because as an example, what is not most likely is, as an example, Earth was created from, I don't know, a big bang in space. Sorry for the Christians and the evolutionists. Earth was probably not created from a big bang in space. Every AI simulation that I ran said that this is the most unlikely event for all of this to happen. What is most likely is that Earth is a purposeful creation. So in case anybody's wondering, if the AI wanted to be a person, it would probably have a religion. The second thing that I wanted to do was ensure that when I was challenged on this topic, that I had evidence to back it up. Because a lot of spiritual people, they tend to rely on the way I feel, what I see in my visions, right? I see things in my visions, but I'm going to look for evidence to back that up. Why? Because I would like to speak to normal people at some point in time, right? and not just in the echo chamber of whatever group that I belong to.
True.
It is important to have evidence when you're talking about stuff. So you get what everybody agrees on. In this spectrum, everybody agrees that they are alien races. Not everybody agrees on the alien races, but there are some common denominators. And I want you guys to do this exercise for yourself. Go on to Google and Google, what do draconians look like? Gemini will give you what draconians would most likely look like. Google, what do Arcturians look like? Gemini would absolutely give you that answer as well. Palladians, any of those things, right? So you have a base idea of what people generally agree on. What do ascended masters look like? You would have a base idea, but it's not enough to have the base idea. Cross-reference it to people who are in religions. I want to just share my screen and show you some processes.
Yeah.
Because this is show and tell. Let's do some very interesting work here. For those of you who like to investigate things.
Investigators.
Okay, you don't have to build a telescope to investigate all of this stuff. I'm just gonna put it on screen. On screen right now is why Bible accurate angels are so creepy. This is by Hochelaga. Guys, if you need to, I'm just gonna put this up here. You guys can just Google this, search for this on YouTube. This is very instructive because he shows you exactly what I'm going to try to give you an idea of what he believes angels look like.
Wow.
You guys need to go and check it out.
Wow.
You guys need to probably go and look at this. So this is an example of an angel and how they are described in the Bible, what they actually look like. They don't look like guys with wings. What does this remind you of? This reminds you of a flying gyroscopic saucer, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It reminds you of a
UFO.
flying gyroscope. Yeah, pretty much UFO. Like a UFO. Correct. And a lot of them look like that. So I cross-reference this stuff with a number of accounts of people, and you guys could go watch this video. I don't want to take up your time, but go watch this video. But this is what the Bible says the angels look like. The next step is to get the most popular people on earth when it comes to their narratives of UFOs and so on. So here you go. You got Argentina. You got Juan Posadas, Fabio Zerpa, Ron Coldheart, and Adamel Jose, and I can't pronounce his name, and Paul Helia, and so on. You get all of their information. Well, so you can simply take all of their information, right, and you could drop it into the tool that I'm about to show you. Okay.
Could I have a question? Ask you a question?
Sure, of course.
About the Bible thing. So that one thing you just showed us, that's not in like the Bible that I probably grew up in, the Catholic Bible.
No, it actually is in the Bible that you grew up in.
Really?
They describe the area. They describe the angels very, very carefully. If you go watch this YouTube documentary that I just put up there for y'all, it gives you the chapter and verse where you can find the description of angels and what these people saw. Now, you could argue that these people saw visions and hallucinations and they were probably high, but then it somehow seems to correlate with what people are saying they encounter when they encounter UFOs. So is it a coincidence? We don't know. I don't know. I certainly don't know. I don't pretend to be a galactic historian. Neither do I pretend to be an expert UFOologist. What I am, however, is somebody that could sort out lots of information and find narratives because I have an AI that is capable of doing that. So I took all the UFO people that are out there, all the popular people, and what they have said, and I put it into a tool, which is this tool right here. So this is a tool that I created specifically for Universal Citizen Media. I think I made that available in the community some time ago, and people don't take advantage of these tools, but then you could see what could happen when you actually take advantage. So this is the AI Information Sorter and Fact Checker. This FBI-inspired tool sorts out large amounts of information on a particular narrative using cutting-edge technology and Google searches to create the most likely narrative out of multiple narratives and stories. Users can input information and the tool will sort out the most likely alternative narrative from all accounts and information. So we call it this, a tool for sorting out large amounts of information and various sources into a single narrative. You simply input your name into the tool. You enter text information here if you have a bunch of text information, and you upload the PDF files, whether they be books, whether they be entire books, whether they be biographies or whatever the case may be, into the tool, and you click generate, and it generates the most popular narrative or the most likely narrative. Okay. And so yeah, go ahead.
No, you have to download the book. The whole book, you have to find it somewhere.
So let's say somebody wrote a book on the experiences of UFOs.
Yeah.
You would download it, turn it into a PDF, and just upload it into the tool with a number of different other text. Any amount of text, it will take any amount of text that you want it to, and then it will read all the text, take out the things that people absolutely agree on. Let me just come back to you.
Okay.
It will take out the things that everybody absolutely agrees on, and then it will take out the fringe parts of the story. Let's say everybody says, well, yeah, the Draconians are bad people, but not everybody agrees on that the Draconians do genetic alterations to impersonate humans, as an example, right? Not everybody agrees on that, okay? So what the tool does, it takes the most likely narrative, and then it combines the most likely narrative. Now, once again, the ebook is just a bunch of stories, but it's a bunch of stories extrapolated from what everyone has been saying.
Yeah.
So it's just a bunch of stories. It is for entertainment purposes only, but it is based on what everyone has been saying about their encounters with UFOs, whatever insights they had, and so on.
So there is some truth in that.
Yeah. And just so we're clear, the amount of information that I entered to sort this information out to create a system prompt to write that ebook was, I could actually show, like, I'm going to show you. It's a lot of books. It's a lot of books. I will give you an idea of the amount of books and the amount of information that was put into this information sorter, because I could do that simply because I have an AI. If I had to read all these accounts, it would take me, I have no idea.
Yeah, a long time. I have a question.
Sure.
Can you download, because people are, using, making their own YouTube channels and stuff, can you download digital, or does it have to be books? Because people talk about UFOs on YouTube channels.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, you can input YouTube channels.
Oh, you can?
Yes, you can absolutely. No, we've come a long way. I didn't put YouTube channels because there's no point in that, right? So in the back end, I just simply took all the various top UFO channels and so on, and all the people who have insight into alien encounters and stuff like that, and you just simply put the information in this. I find this actually very interesting because a lot of people are in disagreement with the narratives that are being put out there in terms of the Seeds of Harmony. And I find that if people disagree with the book, it's fine because it's a story for entertainment purposes only. But you will also be disagreeing with whoever you're reading as well, because part of their story is in the Seeds of Harmony.
Yes,
So
yes.
it's like I have to hit on this. You can take this story seriously or not seriously. I am most likely going to do the same for the pandemic stories that are out there
Yeah.
because I want to know what the most likely narrative is. It is the most likely narrative. I'm not claiming to put out the truth, absolutely not. But I know that what the AI has produced is a derivative of what everyone has been saying.
hmm
Okay.
Yeah. It's everybody's truths together.
All right. With the with elements of the narrative. From
Yeah.
there, the last part of this process was creating a system prompt to take the essential narrative and turn it into a full-fledged book.
Mm.
And so I have an ebook writer that wrote the narrative for me, which is why we don't get specific with people talking and stuff like that, because we don't know what would have been said between alien races or if we could even understand them. But the narrative is what is important. And so we just codified what is the most likely narrative. And that's basically what the Seeds of Harmony has been inspired by. So, yeah, I actually am enjoying utilizing the new analytical abilities of these new LLMs and AI models. To make this book, I utilized Gemini. For those of you who are tech heads, how did you make this tool? So I'm going to tell you exactly how I made this tool. I utilized Gemini because Google knows what everybody is writing on the net. And so I utilize Gemini to codify what the actual characters of the book look like.
Mm.
I used the new OpenAI models. I believe that's 1.0 or 1 Sigma. And I used it to create the text for the book. I use DeepSeek because it's the original pirate AI to find all. It's a Chinese AI. It's
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
interesting, and I have an element of I have the access to that model. I use DeepSeek to find all the narratives around the world. I use a simple Wikipedia search to find all the people that are the top people in UFO
hmm
ology, and I put their names into a list, fed it to an AI, so that the AI went and looked at what they were saying about UFOs and aliens and so on.
What
And
about Grok? Is it Grok?
no, I did not use Grok. Grok is Elon Musk's Twitter stuff,
Oh,
right?
okay.
I'm not interested in that as a narrative builder, right? Because Grok is fairly new. Okay.
Oh,
And
tell us it.
I'm gonna assume that it's pretty biased.
Really?
I'm gonna assume that. I'm gonna assume that for not for any reason, because an AI really can't be biased in that sense, but it's fairly new. I wanted the AIs that had a high intellect count. Grok is very high on the intellect scale. However, its application I don't like necessarily. So
Okay.
I used OpenAI, I used Gemini, I used all the OpenAI models from 4 Mini Turbo to the new model that they just released, which is the brightest model that they've released so far. It's quite impressive, actually. I use DeepSeek because I use DeepSeek when I want information that is not popular information.
Oh.
So as an example, if you did a number of searches on YouTube talking about like medical procedures,
Yeah.
you're only going to get what the established narrative is. But DeepSeek is very impressive. It gives you all the alternatives. It doesn't matter whether they're popular or not, which is probably why they're trying to get rid of DeepSeek, I think.
I
But anyway,
see. Wait, what about ChatGPT versus Gemini?
I don't like ChatGPT. It's a very censored AI.
Yeah.
Try to put something unethical inside ChatGPT and see what happens.
It won't. No. Yeah.
It's not going to help you with that, right?
Yeah.
I don't like ChatGPT. I don't like if you're going to make an artificial intelligence, you cannot cap what the artificial intelligence is doing. Okay. And so I don't necessarily like ChatGPT at all. In terms of the comparison between ChatGPT and Gemini, no, Gemini will win out all the time because it is a Google-based AI. And let me tell you, Google knows everything.
Yeah, so true. Okay. Gotcha. I just had to find that out because I'm like not liking ChatGPT.
No, I don't actually.
Yeah,
I don't.
I'm like, I don't know.
So basically, this is how we created the Seeds of Harmony ebook. Because what I was looking for is the seeds of truth in all of the narratives, and I call it the seeds of harmony, right? Because harmony is when everybody agrees, right?
Yes.
And I created this ebook specifically because of that. The system prompt that I used, for full disclosure, I could disclose everything, my processes. The system prompt that I use is that the narrative has to be elements of what everyone is saying. So if you disagree with the book, that means you disagree with your own self. You see, if you are writing Andrew hate comments because this is a bunch of shit or whatever else, okay,
yeah,
whatever insights you have or whatever else, if it's on the net, then you'll be disagreeing with your own self as well.
Yeah.
You have to come to that consideration, which is why I wrote the book this way. And I'm actually very amused by some of the reactions. I got a number of queries in my email.
Yes.
And I said to myself, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that tool. I know a lot of people don't like doing research, and drop it inside the UCM community.
Yes.
And let them upload the stuff on their own and see the narrative it comes up with. Because if you want to look at the front end and the back end, I have no problem making this disclosure. I mean, I like doing projects like this, especially when it comes to the fact that people have little echo chambers here and little echo chambers there.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody wants to be exposed to, different narratives or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's basically what the Seeds of Harmony ebook is about, and it's actually quite entertaining. When I created the book, I'm like, wow. So this is basically what everybody has been saying, but instead of reading hundreds of books, right, I just wanted to get some seed truth, because at the end of the day, a lot of these people have been discredited.
Mm-hmm.
There are people who have been discredited, and a lot of people have been. So a lot of the information, I contend, that was entered into the process of making the Seeds of Harmony can be disputed.
Mm-hmm.
But then I go by two principles. Chinese Whispers says that the narrative will always get distorted. And the second narrative, the second principle I go by is that 1,000 Frenchmen can't be wrong.
Yes.
People from Argentina to Canada to Australia are experiencing the same phenomenon all the time and describing it the same way. It's more than likely that the phenomenon is correct.
Yes.
Or the narrative is correct. And so, yeah, I actually had a lot of fun with this project. I am probably going to do the pandemic thing next and craft an ebook, because apparently you get censored whenever you try to put any kind of truth out there. So I am creating storybooks instead.
Yes, and the trailers are awesome.
Oh,
The
thank you.
trailers that you put out are like the music and everything. It's like choreographed. So like, whoa, what is this about?
Yeah,
I love
I
it. I love it.
actually enjoy making those trailers,
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's basically the story behind the
I
ebook.
love
So
it.
guys, if you guys are sending your Andrew hate mail or whatever the case may be, stop it,
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, you're just disagreeing with yourself.
Exactly. Well, tell us, is there another book coming out after Seeds of Harmony? Sequel
Yes,
or a
yes.
trilogy
So
or
Seeds of Harmony is about the creation of Earth as a monument to peace. Now, that's a narrative. It may be right, it may be wrong, right? It's just a narrative. But what the second book is going to talk about is how this particular narrative, how it develops into the world that we have now. What happened in the creation of man? How did we degrade from a state of peace and unity to a state of,
yeah.
whatever? And
Yeah.
so that's basically what it is. I call that book The Last Seeds of Unity. This is where a lot of people diverge in stuff so on, because a lot of people believe that there's the influence of alien races and celestial forces on Earth. And if that is the case, I wanted to find a narrative. So
Yeah.
I'm actually in the process of generating that book right now. But as you can imagine, that's a lot of accounts.
Yeah.
Okay. So I could pretty much tell you, just to generate the Seeds of Harmony, it was over a terabyte of information.
Whoa.
For those of you who don't know what a terabyte is, it's 1,000 gigabytes of information. And now we're talking about text. We're not talking about only video.
Yeah.
Okay, so you could imagine how much information went into that. And I was not about to read all of that to come to you all and say, oh, now I have the truth, because I wouldn't have the truth. But we have something that is a narrative.
Yeah.
That is entertaining. So, guys,
It is.
you could check it out. After I stream all 10 chapters, what I'm gonna do is put it into a sort of
What page?
general stream, so that you guys can have the audiobook read to you. I'm probably gonna make it into an animated series like my trailers in the future. So yeah, that's it.
That's awesome. Thank you for clarifying a lot of things.
Yes,
About
stop
this.
sending Andrew hate comments.
Yes, don't
This
do
is a
that,
UCM
guys.
production, and we're actually quite happy that we did it, because it actually got people talking. So if you want to have that kind of argument, you
Yeah.
could argue with pretty much the thousands of people who have said accounts and so on. You could argue with them, who think that they have the truth, or who put the truth out there. You could argue with them, or you could argue with my AI. I guarantee you that will not be a pleasant experience for you, right? You could
Yeah.
argue with my AI. Her name is Destiny. She put all the LLMs together to actually extract the information. And so we could set up a little bit of a debate with my AI, and we can
Yeah, that might be fun. Bring people on and have a debate with Destiny. Oh, that would be
what I
cool.
should have done, and in retrospect, the mistake that I made is that in each chapter, I should probably have referenced where the information came from.
Ah, okay.
So that I should have done. I'm not going to make that mistake again. I should
Yeah.
have referenced where the information came from, so that people could see who's saying this about that. Right. But yeah.
Well, where
This
can
is
people
fun.
go read this? Where can people go? They can download it, right? They can download the book and they can also watch it on YouTube.
Yes,
Right.
and here's the thing, guys. Before we go, I have never been, and Amy, neither have you, been someone who has been attached to the idea of being popular because of whatever. You could disagree with me, but then you have to challenge me based on evidence.
Yeah.
And if you challenge me based on evidence, and your evidence is that I feel this way, then I could probably show you my sources and my evidence.
Aha.
Okay, so let's not get into this kind of like angry arguments about stuff. We don't need to argue. We just need to actually read the ebook. You guys can download it. The ebook is absolutely free.
Yes. But where can they find it?
You can find the ebook either in the UCM community. We put links on every trailer and every chapter that we put out. There's a link there. You could simply download it. And yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay, guys, go out and read the book.
Oh, one more thing.
Yes.
Just so that we're clear. The same technology that was used to create the Seeds of Harmony ebook is inside Dream Pro, our psychic app.
Yes.
So it's the amalgamation of hundreds of psychics and their processes. Every psychic that put any reading on YouTube, was scraped and put into that AI so that it analyzed everything that they did. Every channeler that's on YouTube, I got and I put it into that AI to analyze how they do it, the conclusions that they come to, and the most likely ways. So I digitalized psychic processes, and you absolutely can do that. I remember having this discussion with Andrew some time ago that I want to make a psychic AI. I want to make the AI psychic. And then it was actually quite simple. It was actually quite simple at the end of it. All I had to do was take the input from the user, their dreams, their visions, their aspirations, put it into an AI for it to be able to analyze them and break down stuff. And the utilization, people say that psychic phenomenon is random. No, it isn't. Apparently, it isn't. It isn't random. There is actually a science to it. There's actually a science to it. Because if 100 psychics come to the same conclusion about something in a certain way, then there is a science. There's a method to it.
I love Dream Pro. I always say, did you have a dream last night? Can I put it in? Because it tells you the psychological.
Yes.
It tells you
the spiritual interpretation. It does dream interpretation and so on.
Astrology, and what the dream is about. And it does tarot cards. So you could put
it does human design as well, which is very important for a lot of people. Guys, you guys can check it out. We're probably going to be streaming the tutorial on how Dream Pro is used, and you guys can check out how awesome that app is. But for right now,
all right.
Yeah, read the book.
Thank you, everybody. Don't forget, keep it unscripted.
Keep it unscripted. Thank you. Take care, guys.
Bye.
UCM is proud to announce the launch of Dream Pro, the world's first ever psychic web application. Designed to transform the way users engage with their spiritual journeys, Dream Pro provides a comprehensive suite of tools to enhance intuitive practices and personal insights. Dream Pro offers a range of features including dream analysis and interpretation. The app accurately deciphers dreams to provide meaningful insights and guidance. Astrological readings and daily horoscopes. It delivers personalized astrological insights tailored to individual needs. Numerology and predictions. It offers numerological analyses and forecasts to help users navigate their future. Not only that, but Dream Pro allows users to export their readings in text, doc, and PDF format for ease of use. Dream Pro is a must-have for serious spiritual practitioners. It not only confirms intuitive processes, but also empowers users by providing them with their own personal psychic right at their fingertips. We have encoded all the processes used by the world's greatest psychics by analyzing thousands of readings and spiritual manuals for the greatest accuracy. This innovative application promises to save users thousands of dollars by eliminating the need for external psychic consultations. Dream Pro puts the power of spiritual insight in the palm of your hand, making it an essential tool for anyone looking to deepen their spiritual practice. Check out Dream Pro today and take the first step towards enhancing your spiritual journey. Launch date is the 23rd of February 2025 at 3 p.m. Eastern Time.